I'm Mark Roberts. Welcome to AFL 360. Please subscribe. Today is Coach's Night. We have from the Carlton Football Club, on my left, Jindrak.
Thank you very much for having us again.
And Vexico, boys. Double V.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to be here as a winner.
Now, fellas, first game. First win Carlton Football Club, Carlton, have had over Richmond in round one in a decade. Or maybe a bit more, I'm not too sure. I've had a few knocks to the head by the missus. How does it feel to break a hoodoo in your first season?
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it? Just we took a bunch of grit in that game. It was a hard game.
1 point victory.
1 point. Considering the type of game, Carlton haven't beaten Richmond in quite a long time, like you mentioned. And anything can happen in football, and we went in there with the mindset. We made sure we showed the players a lot of footage from previous games and showed them how important it is to get a round one win. And the players came out, didn't they? And we had a big scare in that game, and we're just glad we came away with it. And good old Zachy Williams unexpectedly did.
Well, speaking to Zach Williams, he is my hero for this week. What a star. You don't often see late in a game a half-back flanker taking a winning shot. Now let's just have a look at that vision right here and just see the young fella, the hero of the week.
There is 40 seconds left. Oh, yeah! Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. Yes!
Oh, boy. If I was taking that shot, 20 out of 20, I would have absolutely kicked it out in the full and then ran on the bed of the bench in shame. Now, I'd like to show you boys a bit more vision here. Now, we'll just roll the tape, boys. Roll the tape, will you? Come on. We don't have all day. Here it is here, boys.
Oh, no. He's going to find someone here. Oh, shit. Oh, no. What's he done dropping the ball?
What was going through your mind when one of the best key forwards in the comp drops a sitter with I don't know, 40, last minute of the game, 45 seconds left in the game? What was going through your mind, boys?
That's for you, Vex.
Oh, here we go. We're going to lose.
Geez, it's a funny man, that man. Man, a few words, but quite a funny lad, aren't you, Vex? Double V, the lad. Let me just put it to you. Did you think defensively at times and the midfield kind of gave up a few easy goals?
Yeah, there was a lot of that actually. Probably noticed in a few of the quarters where we got a little bit of a lead going on, and then for some reason they got on top of us in the contest and through the centre bounces, and they got about 2 or 3 goals in a row at one stage when we thought maybe we got the game out of their eyes, and for some reason, due to their credit, they come flying back, got in front, and and like that was bad enough, and as you were saying at the mark, geez, I mean, look, it's high pressure. I mean, it's very hard, but look, I wasn't going to put it on. It was, yes, technically it was.
Can a pie from a guy?
That's right. And so I guess the idea now is knowing at least now we get the bit of break. We showed the players what's going on, and they understand on what's going on, and they understand what needs to be done in games. And we have Collingwood this week, which is a massive game.
I was just about to bring that in the next question.
And the players know what they've done wrong in that last quarter. They know what they did right in every other quarter as well. But no matter what happens, no matter if we win by a lot, there's still something in every game where there's always something wrong that you want to improve on. So
what I know is hard for you guys is you've only got one main predominant ruckman, and I felt that in that last quarter, the clearances that Richmond were allowed to get were too easy. They'd get a tap out, handball, kick, goal. And now in AFL football, that's probably where you need to work on, because you're coming up against a premier ruckman, probably top 2 or 3, maybe even considered number 1 ruckman in the comp in Brodie Grundy this week. Now there's questions of whether he'll be available. He had a little tweak. We don't really know, but how are you going to attack, Brodie Grundy with one predominant ruckman in Pitney?
Well, it's a challenge, isn't it? It's a big challenge.
He's a pod, literally. He's a man mountain.
He is, and we've got a lot of strategies in place with the potential chance of him getting on top in the ruck. And the whole goal of the midfield and the contest is to make sure that we're just on top of it. We can try and read his taps. We know he's going to get to the ball a lot. He's probably going to get there a lot more than anyone. And that's going for the whole competition either. Like, he's, as you said, probably one of the best ruckmen in the whole league, and it's a great learning experience for our players. And we just hope that we can get on top of them and get some early pressure. And we believe in our own system at the end of the day. So, yeah.
I noticed, speaking to your system, you like to sort of to kick mark, and if you can get a quick handball for sort of forward to centre, you seem to then like to go quick. Is that the game plan that Vex? Is that the game plan you're going to be working on for the entire year, or are you going to be sort of swapping and changing, or that's the system you're going to stick to?
Yeah, well, it is what we're working on. You got to remember we've got a young list, but we are working on that kick to mark ratios where we want it to be, based on skill, and then sort of work wide. But I'm not going to give too much away because I'm sure the Collingwood coach is watching. So, he would have watched on the weekend too. But it's trying to produce a beautiful skill-based game plan.
Right. Yeah, it's a lovely game play system, sort of game plan, and it's beautiful to watch when you can go from defensive 50 to the wing, and then down the half forward and straight into Mackay. I mean, Mackay seems to be the target man, if you say, in sort of a soccer term, He seems to be the man that is the end game. You reckon that's the end game, to get it to Mackay, or are you going to try and sort of work Curnow into it? Because Curnow really hasn't seemed to be firing on all cylinders yet.
It might look like that, but we've got two beautiful big men there, and we've got Levi as well in the club. But what the work you're not paying attention to is Charlie working up the ground, luring away their defence because they're worried about him, and Hazard's got so much room to work into. It's one-on-one. And when you've got Harry Mackay one-on-one, it's going to be obvious that you're going to go to him 9 times out of 10. I mean, why wouldn't you? 9 times out of 10, he's not going to drop a mark. As you can see, obviously, I'll say 9 times out of 10 because he almost lost us the game. But I wouldn't say he's directly the target man. We've got smaller guys that kick goals. And we've got Eddie and Zachy Fisher, young Zachy Fisher running off Eddie. But as you can see as well, our defenders push up. And Zachy won us the game. No, I wouldn't say he is the target man. No, I disagree with that.
We want to get Curnow into the game a lot because we know he's a dominant force. And, we try to make it hard for the... Oh, Charlie's great. And I think the biggest thing is...
Wish I had that hair,
Yeah.
Draw up top here.
I'm happy with my own. But the thing with Charlie is you feel like it's only a matter of time until we see him really get into the game big time. And that's going to eventually happen. Now, the good thing is at least we've got some versatility anywhere we can, and the players can, that's a good thing. Like, Charlie can go up a bit higher.
Have you thought about playing Curnow maybe deeper forward, playing 2 deep forwards, and playing maybe a Casbold or a Silvani at centre forward to try and get Charlie into the game a bit more? Or you like to run with your 2 Betts and Fisher, your 2 small forwards next to Mackay?
I think it just comes down to really the opposition we're playing, to be honest with you. I think the idea of having Silvani probably being there as well, I think he's doing really well for us, to be honest with you. And
it's working well off the bench, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's just trial and error. We're only up to round 2 now, and things can change drastically, and a lot of the time it does. So we're expecting,
especially if you get injuries, you just hope you don't. I just really hope Charlie has an injury-free season, because I love watching Big Charlie.
Well, that's right, and we believe he can kick a lot of goals for us this year, and we believe he will. And just like the rest of them, we don't want to have one designated kicker. I think by doing that is not great for the team, because then everyone just kind of basically goes on, and we don't have any other structure to go with. So we definitely need to have...
with Peter Wright.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So
you don't want to fall into that trap.
Which he's doing. He's going to do well for the Bombers as well. But to keep talking about Carlton, it's we definitely want to improve in our forward structure and how we get the ball to our forwards. There's a lot of we're seen to be pretty good in contested mark, which is a very big bonus for us, because we definitely need that, and that's shown throughout the at least the pre-season and at least through round 1. We hope to continue that against Collingwood.
Yeah, so Collingwood, big game. Now I know you guys are new to Carlton, but I've been around that traps since you guys were in nappies, and I'll just say it right now. Back in the day, Carlton and Collingwood, they hate each other. It's a rivalry.
Yeah.
It's max rivalry, Back in the 80s, you used to just see blokes clubbing someone at their head at the start of a game. It is just absolute hatred, Vex. Can you explain a bit of how the old boys have been going through it with the club with us and about talking about that rivalry? Yeah, well, we had a couple of past players as in Sticks, and Brucey Dool was there, and a couple of others, and they were really giving it to the boys on how much this means and how much we hate, their words, not mine, Collingwood. And I really did feel that there's a hatred there. I mean, it's a harsh word, but when it gets over that white line, we bloody don't like each other, and it's probably going to be a bit of biff in there, and we're going to let them know. I think the boys are that fired up at the moment after that pep-up talk. I think that you're going to really see a bit of hard-nosed contest and a bit of biff, and that's what you love to see when you go to the football. It's two clubs that genuinely don't like each other. They usually produce their best games. So, yeah, and I'm learning to. It's easy to. I'm not going to say it's easy to hate Collingwood if you don't go for them. Well, guys, who are you most worried about? I'll end on this question because we're running out of time. Who are you guys most worried about in the Collingwood lineup this week? What is the one player each? I'll ask each of you this question. So you say one. If it's the same as that, you're going to have to come up with another one, Vex. But Jindrak, I'll ask you first. Who is the one player at Collingwood that you're worried about the most?
If I had to pick one player, which is very difficult because Collingwood's got a great team all around, I would say, as everyone will probably think, Grundy, but I personally think maybe Jeremy Howe. His ability to mark, his game sense awareness is beautiful. He just knows a lot, and I think
he's like I wish I could.
Yeah, he does, and I think that's going to be a really hard one for us. We've got a few ideas in mind about matchups, which obviously we're not going to talk about which ones they are, but they're definitely an idea ones. Because they've got a great structure, a lot of good players around them, and we're going to be on our toes to perform. I mean, we really do.
Double V, who do you reckon?
Yeah, well, mine's not Grundy either. I mean, we already know what he's capable of, but I'm really worried about Darcy Moore. I think that his intercept game is dangerous, but he can also go forward and produce goals. So he's going to be, if he's on Hazard, which I presume he will be, he's going to be the man to worry about. Ken has put it over him. It's going to be a great one-on-one battle. But, Darcy Moore for me. I think that he's probably Collingwood's, to be honest, in my opinion, their best player when he's up and running. And probably one of the best defenders in the game.
Well, both of these guys both said the opposite of who I was thinking they'd say. For me, obviously I said it earlier, Brodie Grundy, 110% is the worry for me, for you guys. That's I'm worried for you guys. Is the ruck battle, and the Brodie Grundy is quite a formidable figure in the game. And I think, it's going to be a really hard contest in the ruck for you guys. I hope you've got a backup ruckman planned, even though you don't really have one strong on the list. I really hope you've got someone in the wings to come in. Guys, thanks for joining me on the show. Jindrak.
Thank you very much for having us. See you next week.
Oh, you sure will. In case I have a heart attack again. And Vexico.
No worries, Robbo. We'll see you next week. If, obviously, like you said, you don't have a heart attack. Stay safe, mate.
That has been AFL 36. I'm Mark Robinson. Please subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, well, Robbo, we had a couple of the past players. And Sticks was there, and Bruce Dool, and hang on, is Bruce Dool still alive?
I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll take two.